Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Matt, aka Goop. We are back, and this is gonna be our first one. So I hope you guys are ready for what we're gonna be talking about, everything that we're gonna be getting into, and just a lot of me. This is gonna be the first episode of the podcast. Let's give yourself a round of applause. This is definitely a long time coming. Coming from the places that I've been, the things that I've seen, the last thing that I would expect myself to do is tell my story. And I want to be able to bring that to people so they can relate to what's going on here, that, everyone's journey is different and we still have a lot to relate to, and being able to bring this type of change to people's eyes, people's ears, people's souls, people's bodies, and give you a taste of something for the better. So I am gonna be bringing you guys along the journey of my life. A big part of this podcast is gonna be so you guys can understand the experience, not only from me, but from other people around the world, other people that you've never seen, maybe people that you have seen, and being able to relate on a lot of those conversations, relate on a lot of those experiences, and as well bring something new. The world is ever changing. Most definitely, the world is ever changing, and as much as change as we have in life, I want there to be positive change. There's a lot of change going on. There's a lot of negativity that we may be seeing. There's a lot of bad things going on in the world, views that we don't really want to see. And, it is the reality of things. And that's something that we have to acknowledge. We have to be able to accept. But as well, we can also impact that with positive change, with a positive light, with positive views, even for the better. Sometimes we may need to get our hands dirty. We may need to do a little bit more to be able to show the impact that we want in our society, our lives, the people that we're around. And even when we have that positivity, we want to make sure that we're amplifying it to the best of our ability as well, and allowing us to get a better grip on what we really want, on the future that we want to bring to the people around us, and the future that we want to live in. So this is going to be a long journey, and that's what we're here for. There's going to be a lot of steps. There's going to be a lot of episodes, a lot of things that we're going to be talking about, because anything can change in a couple seconds, a couple minutes, a couple days, a couple weeks, a couple months. So much can change in that time. And this is to be able to show people that no matter what, no matter the steps that you're taking, even if you feel stuck, even if you feel like you're moving, even if you feel like you're declining, all these steps have a purpose. They're all going to lead up to something. And we are here to experience this journey, see exactly what we want for the better, and be able to bring that to people that may not see the way that we see, may not understand the way that we understand, or may not embrace certain things the way that we do as well. This is not to push anything onto people. This is not to force any views or force anything or any change onto people. Something that I like to take, and I tell this to everybody as well: advice is given and taken. I can give you as much of advice as I want. If you're not willing to take it, that's entirely okay. Now, your decisions after the advice is taken is now dependent on you. So I try to tell that with everybody that I'm with. And I got to be able to tell it to myself. When somebody's giving me information, when somebody's talking about something, when somebody's trying to give me advice, I got to be able to listen fully. I got to be able to sit there to understand, all right, what is being said. Because if I'm not understanding the advice, and I'm sitting there putting myself in the same predicament, putting myself in the same position to be like, okay, now I need advice from somebody else. Now I need advice from somebody else. When I could have just listened the first time, took the advice that was given to me, instead of kind of brushing it off my shoulders, and now allowing me to fully understand what was being said. And I take myself to that. So it's not that I'm trying to be a hypocrite. I just like to be able to bring that type of view onto people That doesn't mean I have to force it. I try to be a very fluent person. I try to be very open minded. I try to be very acceptable of everything. I do have my own things that I do that I like to do, that I prefer, but I also allow myself to challenge myself, allow myself to think differently, allow myself to be a lot more open to everything. We can always be open minded, but sometimes it may be certain experiences that we don't allow ourselves to open up to, certain people that we may not allow ourselves to open up to, certain challenges, even when it comes within ourselves. Sometimes we just don't want more. And this is what we're going to be tackling and challenging everybody, challenging the way that you think, challenging the way that you experience, challenging the way that you feel, to allow us as a community to grow. That's what we're here for. And this is all I want on a day-to-day basis, to be able to grow with the people that I'm around, to be able to bring a better society into my environment. Something that I like to say as well, your mental environment is affected by your physical environment. So if your physical environment or the society that you are around isn't good for you, these types of bad thoughts are going to sit in your head. And that's the worst type of society that you want to have. If you have a bunch of people in your head, let's say that as a society, bringing you down, not taking you where you need to go, not allowing you to be yourself, you're going to be stuck. As much stuck as you are in the physical, you are going to be stuck in the mental. And because those two will unite at a certain point, your spiritual is going to be done. And that's where we're here to tackle a lot of these things. So we are getting started. I am here to tell you about the past, the present, and the future. This is more on getting an understanding on how Goop got to here, how Matthew got to this point in life, and where I was willing to take that risk on something different. We are going to be starting off with these 3 books right here. These 3 books. We have The Portrait of an Addict as a Young Man. We have The 10 Secrets for the Man in the Mirror. And then we have The 4 Agreements. This is going to be our past. This is going to be our present. And this is going to be our future. For those who have read The 4 Agreements, you would know entirely what I will be speaking about when it comes to how we speak about the future for The 4 Agreements. So it's going to be good. This is more of a common book, which is very wonderful. It's easy accessible. You can get them online. I've gotten mine at Five Below. This is actually a friend of mine's, and I actually had to borrow it. But it's accessible. It's like, what does it say right here? What does it say? The price ain't on here. But it's like $5. Good book. And there's also so much more after this, but we'll get into that a little bit later. This book right here is something that I have never heard of, nothing that I would ever expect to run into, but it has brought me a lot of understanding for the man in the mirror, and allows us to speak on that present, because it allows us to bring ourselves down to that reality and enjoy so much more. And that's something that we're going to be speaking about. This one right here is The Portrait of an Addict as a Young Man. This is the first book that I actually have ever picked up, honestly, for my interest in reading. And believe it or not, it has changed my life. I got this book back when I was living in New York. I was 19. At that time, I was going through a lot, living on my own, taking care of the things that I needed to, such as you know what? Hold on. Let me because I said a lot of good stuff at the start. All right. I gotta get this one. All right. I can get it. I got it. So starting off with the journey I have here, I want to be able to let you guys know when I kind of got started into reading a lot more, especially books like this that kind of allow me to calm the mind down, calm the body down, get a better understanding of the future that I want, the past that I've had, and the present that I'm currently living in. And this has allowed me as well to get a better glimpse on the person that I wanted to try to be. and the person that I am today. These books have gotten me to this point today to be able to have all of this around me, to be able to have these type of conversations with you guys, and to be able to embrace a lot more, which I'm very, very grateful for. Back when I first got this book, at that time, I was taking 2 trains and a bus down to work because I used to work in the Bronx. Well, I used to live in the Bronx and I used to work in Queens. So I would take the D train down to 59th. Actually, I would take it to 42nd. That's what I would do. I would take the D train down to 42nd, go from there and catch the E or the F train, take it down to 74th Roosevelt, and then I would catch the bus and take the bus to work. It'll take me about 2 hours to get to work. So in that time, I got a lot of time to think. I got nothing to do but think and read and draw. And that allowed me to get a better glimpse on calmness. I'll be honest, especially in a state where it's always going, it's always tense. It allowed me to get calmness. And that brought a lot of peace to my mind, which is good. And allows me to bring a lot of peace to reality, which is beautiful. When I was first reading this book, I had got it because I was actually running a little late. And instead of me waiting for the bus, I ended up walking to work. So I took the 2 trains and then I ended up walking. Now, at that time, I was fresh out of knee surgery. So I shouldn't have been walking the way I did. I shouldn't have been running the way I did. And I was pushing my body to an extent. But I found this book on the ground, walking at a point when I shouldn't have been walking, doing something that I shouldn't have been doing. And I found this book on the ground for free. They were just giving them away. I grabbed this book and immediately just felt attracted to it. I've been smoking for years. Smoking weed for years. I am 22. I've probably been smoking weed for 10 years. And seeing this allowed me to kind of get a realization of where I'm at. Because not only was I addicted, I'm still addicted to smoking weed. I'll be chilling. But the addiction that I was fighting was outside of that. There were a lot more addictions in life that I was facing. And I needed to get a grip. I needed to be able to understand who was really in control, who is the one winning, who is the person in lead. And especially at a young age, this opened my eyes in so much, allowed me to take a step back from the things that I'm addicted to. We can be addicted to our phones. We can be addicted to people. We can be addicted to music. We can be addicted to certain activities, being addicted to certain smells, certain sights. And that's something that we don't really realize on a day to day. We think about it as a routine. Sometimes it's an addiction. And it doesn't have to always be bad. Just get an understanding of what is going on, call it for what it is, and allow yourself to take that step. Is this a positive addiction that I want in my life? Yes, it can be a habit, but some people may be addicted to doing certain things. So sometimes you want to be able to take that step back. Is this something that I want to be continuously doing on my day to day, or on my week to week, or on my month to month? Is this something that I want to be able to carry myself by, or allow myself to be, what's the word? Labeled. I wouldn't say labeled. Labeled is not the word. Recognized. So let's say you like drinking. This is just the easiest one to be able to get out of there. Let's say you like drinking. You drink maybe on the weekends. You drink every weekend though. You make sure that you do not miss a weekend that you're drinking. You are addicted to drinking. Now, you can think about that with any other activity. When it comes to working out, Working out is a good habit. Some people are addicted to working out. Sleeping is good for the body, good for the mind, good for the soul. Some people are addicted to sleeping, and sometimes that's not good. So, we do have the good addictions, we do have the bad addictions. And what this book has allowed me to do is kind of differentiate, differentiate the good and the bad that I have in my life, and allow me to get a better understanding of what is a necessity and what is a want in my life and in my day to day. What am I allowing myself to consume my time where I can be doing something either a little bit more progressive, a little bit more relaxing, a little bit more where I'm learning a lot more. So this allowed me to get a better understanding of where my time was going, what was I really doing, what was I really focused on, and where I was at. During this time, I did have a significant other. She was staying with me at the time. So this kind of allowed me to get a better understanding of life. What am I putting my focuses on? What am I allowing to take control of my energy, of my time, and my peace? And this allowed me to kind of let go of things that I didn't really need in life, things that I was wanting, when it comes to the phone use, when it comes to the smoking, when it comes to hanging out with people, when it comes to wasting my time on certain things. This allowed me to see, okay, first of all, if I want to be a man, if I want to be an adult, if I want to live for myself, I got to be able to, number one, take responsibilities for my actions, and then as well, understand where these reactions are coming from. Because a lot of the addictions that we have in life are reactions to certain things. Some people, we're just going to bring it back to drinking, smoking, and working out, because this is the easy example that we can be able to give people. We may feel happy, so we may go drink. We may feel sad, so we may go drink. We may be happy, so we go work out. We may be sad, so we go work out. These are reactions to certain things that are happening. And these addictions that we have in life are usually a lot more of a reaction, less than an action to certain things. And once you get an understanding of how some of these addictions can take a hold of your life, you're able to see, all right, what do I really need to prioritize? What do I really need to do when it comes to the emotions that I'm feeling? What do I do? What do I want to do after that? How am I reacting to what's going on? When something good is happening, how do I react to that? When something bad is happening, how do I react to that? And this book has kind of helped me a lot get a better understanding of where I come from and who I was at that moment. We'll get into more trauma at a later time. But because me seeing all the addictions that I have in life, I was like, I need to hold myself accountable, because I am at a point in life that the only person that is responsible for tomorrow is me. The only person that is responsible for the actions that I take further on in my day is me. And I can't allow the things that have happened to me in the past define who I want to try to be or who I am today. It is very hard to get out of these, we can say, trauma loops. It's very hard to get ourselves out of this pain that we feel so much, because sometimes we're so used to it. We're so accustomed to this feeling. And it's not like we're searching to feel bad. We just sometimes don't know any better. And this book has allowed me to, number one, see that no matter what you may have in life, number one, you got to be able to appreciate it, honestly, for really what it is. In this book, this man was a very successful businessman. He had a beautiful partner. He chased so much. He had kids, he had friends, and he ended up going on a 2-month bender on crack. On crack cocaine. That boy was cooked the whole time, living a double life, lying to himself, lying to the people he loves, lying to people he doesn't even know. And number one, this showed me on how the addiction to something can change someone's life in many, many ways that we wouldn't even expect. And seeing something like this, because it is a memoir, so it's more of like a firsthand feel. It's crazy to see that I could be this person in this book. Not saying that this is the path that I want to take, but allowing myself to be able to reflect off of something like this and see there are better decisions that need to be made, and better decisions that can be made sooner than later. Every time that I read this book, I'm actually not done, because I read chapter to chapter. I allow this chapter to be a little bit of an understanding on the chapter that I'm living. And I'll be honest, every time I open up this book, it's at the perfect time. It's at the exact moment where what is being said needed to be heard. And that's why I'm very grateful for this book. This has allowed me to see, as a young man, as somebody that wants better, as somebody that's trying and has failed, that has fucked up, that has been in places that I wouldn't even expect in a bad way, to know that there is so much more better. And I want to be a testament to that, you know? And we'll get to more of that at the end of the show. So this was a little bit of the past. And I feel like what a good point is as well, me saying that I didn't finish this book. The past is always going to come up. It's always going to feel like a certain book. It's always going to feel like something that you may need at that time. Sometimes we deserve a lot better, and we need a lot better, and we need to understand a lot better. As much as this is a beautiful book, and I am going to be finishing this, the past needs to stay sometimes in the past. And that's the reason that I will only read that book once, because this book right here has been more of a journey. And this is not something that I would want to experience ever again. This is a book that I would want to share to somebody else, and be grateful that I only read it once, because it goes to show you on how life can be, you know? Life can be very crazy. You can have so many ups, so many downs, and you only have one life. You can't go back. So I allow this book to be the first page of the journey that I was allowing myself to take, and me getting a blueprint for who I want to try to be. And I'm very grateful for that. Once I finish this book, I will be letting you guys know. I am almost very done with it, actually. The chapter that I am currently on is Shelter. And this is why I say it's so beautiful. I haven't read this book in a little bit, actually. And seeing that I'm opening it up to Shelter is crazy, because I got my apartment 2 months ago. I was homeless for a little bit, staying in people's houses, staying from here to there, jumping from one place to another, not knowing where I'm going to go, thinking about quitting it all. And look at where I'm at now. You know, 2 months ago, I got my apartment. Allowed myself to give myself a home when I ain't had that. And I'm very, very grateful. And I'm very grateful for the man in the mirror, because the man in the mirror has helped me build a foundation. As much as the past has allowed me to understand, I need to be able to build that foundation. And that's what this book has helped me with. I first started reading this book when I was living with my one of my best friends. I moved over here to Florida about 3 years ago. And I came here on a whim. I didn't know what I was going to do with life. I didn't know where I was going to go. I ended up staying with my mom for a little bit. One of my good friends as well had got me a good job working for a law firm, which I'm very grateful for, and allowed me to get a little bit more structure. A little bit after that, I was kicked out, and that was due to mutual decisions. We can say it like that. You got to be able to take accountability for your actions. And that's something that I always do. As much as I have fucked up in life, I say that I fucked up in life. I will let you know, yes, I did fuck up. That was very fucking bad of me. And don't know what I was fucking thinking at that time. But I allow myself to take accountability. I allow myself to understand from the actions that I've made, to be able to reflect onto them for the better, to be able to grow from them, to be able to try and give myself a better life. And that's why I feel like this book has helped me. After I got kicked out, ended up living with my best friend. That's what I was going to say. I was living in Apopka, which is in Florida. I was living in Apopka, and I used to work in Sanford. Now, I got a new job. Things happen. Things change. We on another chapter right now. That's why we on another book. During this time, this was one of the hardest times I've ever had. I'll be so honest. This was so bad. I didn't have transportation to work, and I really wasn't doing too good. Not too good. So in that time, my day-to-day was I would wake up around 7, 8, take a shower, go with my best friend to his job. His job is in Longwood. So I'm waking up a little early. We get to his job. We chilling there around 8, 8:30. He goes to work. I'm chilling in the car for about 2-3 hours. I'm waiting for my train to come. So what to do is I would ride my bike from his job to the train station. I would take the train from Longwood to Sanford. And then from the Sanford station, I would ride my bike down to my job. Now, mind you, I would wake up at 8. My shift didn't start till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Mind you, as well. I had knee surgery a couple years before that. And I'm still in pain today. That was bad. Every day, I had no choice. If my leg wasn't doing it, too bad. Because I got bills to pay. I got things I'm working towards. And I got a future that I really want. And this book helped me on a day-to-day. During that time, I was working 13, 14-hour shifts. I would go sometimes from 8 all the way down to 10, 11. Still riding the bike in the morning, getting to work all sweaty and everything. To be able to work towards better. To be able to believe in something a lot more for myself. To be able to hold myself accountable to the future that I wanted. Some of those days, I didn't even have no food on my plate. I ain't know how I was getting home. I'm at work eating hard candy and water for a couple hours because I ain't got nothing. You know, it's bad times. It's bad times. I understand. And that's the reason that I want to be able to tell people about this journey, because I'm not coming here to tell you, oh yeah, do this, do this, do this. Nah. I'm still fighting myself. I'm still trying to do better for myself. But I want to at least show y'all something that might work. To give you a little bit of, all right, maybe I could do that. Maybe I could try something like that. You know, or maybe he on to something. And that's all. That's all I really want. I want to tell the people about what's going on. And to show y'all that, nigga, dead ass, it could be anybody, son. I'm usually always the goofiest nigga. I'm usually always chilling, laughing, bringing the mood up. Nigga, some days we ain't even eat. Some days we ain't even know where we going to sleep at, nigga. But, nigga, I'm in my crib. My crib. Nigga, I'm 22. I'm in my crib right now. And to show you that it's going to be worth it. It's going to be for the better. There are going to be a lot more challenges. It is going to shit that's going to knock you down. That's going to make your fucking feet bleed. That's going to make your fucking shoulders hurt. Yeah. It's only going to make you stronger, though. It's only going to allow you to break down them walls. Hey, yo. It's only going to allow you to strive for something a lot better that you weren't even thinking about a couple months ago. Because I'm on the same thing. I didn't expect to be here. And 3 months ago, I didn't expect to be doing all of this. The podcast, the TikTok, you know, getting more out there. Like, nah. And to be able to show you guys that so much can change in so little time. But even that, some of the best changes happen over a longer period of time. And we got to remember that. This has helped me as well, not only with the mind, body, and soul, helped me with the family and the friends. Allowed me to get a better understanding when it comes to family and getting a better grip and grace when it comes to friends. This brought me a lot of peace and allowed me to ground myself every day. I'll be honest. This is something that I read every day. Every day I would wake up, I would ride to the train station, and I would sit there and just read and just try to put a smile on my face. After working at that job for 6 months, I got a car. I got my own car. Not nobody co-signed. Not nobody did that. I worked day and night, racking up 80 hours of overtime. Not 80-hour shift. Not 80 hours in 2 weeks. 80-hour overtime, son. Because I wanted it. Because I wanted more. And I'm here to show you that I got it. Not to brag to you, but to show you that these things can happen. There is a lot better for you. There is light at the end of the tunnel. And I just want to be able to show y'all that. That's all. That's all I'm here for. If you ever want to read a really good book when it comes to talking to the person in the mirror, this has got me a little bit of a better connection with God as well. This is a good book. Very, very beautiful. And allows you to kind of challenge who you really are down to the core. And I'm very grateful for that. That book has been something that I would always want to go back to. This is a book that I would read multiple times, even with it being, what is it? How many pages? With it being 180 pages, I read this book again and again and again. Just because of how beautiful the story is and how much peace it really could bring you. On the bottom, it literally says startling ideas about true happiness. And it's good. It's something that I would never expect. A good glimpse, and I just reminded myself from the book, he was talking about he was a man who had a pet. He had a dog. He owned this big, super big land. He had an inside dog, and then we had the stray dogs that were outside of, the home and everything. This is more of the story of kind of like a third person of the dog. The dog wanted to leave where he was cared for. He got food all the time. He was bathed. He got water all the time, walked. He was treated like a prince, the dog. The dog saw the other dogs who were strays, seeing that they did whatever that they wanted to do, were not really caring, that we're going here, that we're going there. Mind you, this is about the book. The dog ended up running away. He ran into the forest where the other strays were. In that perspective, the dog felt free. He felt like, he was with people that he can enjoy his time, that he can do this with, he can do that with. As time passed, the dog realized that nobody really cared for him. That nobody treated him like his owner did. Nobody really would help him out. The owner of the dog would stay out day and night waiting for the dog to come back. Leaving the door open, leaving food out. The dog thought that he was free in wherever part. Turns out the owner owned the whole forest. He owned the whole property. So all the dogs that thought they were free, that thought they were strays, were still being well protected. But they didn't know that. They didn't know any of that anymore because they ran away from the caring home, from the loving space where they were being, very cared for. And the reason that I bring this up is to show you guys, sometimes we search any which way for anything. We search in so many ways, and sometimes we forget what we have. We forget to see how free we really are in the things that we have. But because we want so much more, we are now entrapped into that feeling of wanting more. And because you wanted more, you ended up getting less. And sometimes that's a sad reality of things. This book is very beautiful. It's going to help you find peace, I'll be honest. Because these were very bad days when I was reading this book. Very bad days. Ooh, boy, I tell you, I don't even want to tell you, boy. But that got me. That allowed me to stand a lot taller. And number one, find a lot of strength in myself that I didn't think I had. Finding a lot of understanding for the life that I have curated for myself. And realizing that there is a lot more to this journey, and the work that I do today is going to affect my results tomorrow. And if I put in a lot of hard work today, that'll allow me to get a better chance to have some better results tomorrow. And I just want to try to keep that up. So, good book. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful book. Very, very beautiful. And allowed me to bring a lot of sense of reality to who I am and where I want to try to go. Because as much as we dream, as much as we want, as much as we want to strive for a lot more, we can't lean forward without how do I say this? We can't lean forward without losing a little bit of our balance. And to be able to take that step forward instead of leaning forward is building a good foundation for yourself, building a good structure, and standing in that moment. You know, reality is a beautiful thing. And this is something that I'm working on a day to day. You know, I have a lot of problems with just kind of sitting in reality. And this book has helped me kind of, number one, be grounded and allow myself to, instead of lean forward, take that step forward. And that's the difference that this book has really impacted my life. And all three of these books have. Let's get to the future. The Four Agreements. This one, I don't even know how to explain in the best way. Just because everyone can relate to this book in any which way. And that's what I love about it. This book has allowed me to give myself discipline. Bring myself different views on the way that I want to try to take my life and the future that I want, especially when it comes to me, somebody that I will be talking to every day, the people that I'm around, and the way that I'm going to be like carrying myself on a day to day, and the future that I have. Who do I want to see there? This book has helped out with seeing who we are and who we really can be. And this challenges so many ways on that. Very, very beautiful. Like, look at this. First chapter, domestication and the dream of the planet. Like, very, very beautiful. Come on, second one. Don't take anything personally. Third one, don't make assumptions. Number four. Always do your best. And I love that. You know, all of those chapters are very beautiful. But that one right there is always do your best. It's very beautiful. And that's something that I try to take with my people on a day-to-day as well. The best thing that we can do is try. Honestly. It may sound a little, well, you only tried. Sometimes all we can do is try. Sometimes we may not have that energy, may not have that knowledge, may not have the resources to be able to do the things that we actually want to do. But at least we tried. And that's what's very important. You got to remember that on a day-to-day basis. Like, you tried, you know, you got up today. You try to do the best that you can today, and you're allowing yourself to challenge yourself tomorrow. You tried, and that's very beautiful. Now, we don't always want to settle for trying, but that's the first step. You tried today. Tomorrow, let's try to do a little bit better. The day after, let's try to do a little bit better. And that's it. Hold yourself to that. Hold yourself to, I want to be better for myself. I want to do my best. I'm not putting on a face for everybody else. I'm putting on a face for me. And there's no face to be put on. I'm enjoying my time. I'm enjoying my reality. And I'm doing the best that I can here. And that's something that I like to bring to my people. The best thing that we can do is try. You failed. At least you tried. You could try again tomorrow. What if you try again tomorrow and it's a lot better? Or if you try the day after that and you're successful. And then you try the day after that and you fail. But at least you can reflect on the success that you just had and the failure. So you're like, how I got successful, how I failed. There got to be something that I got to work out there. Breaking all agreements. Getting yourself out of who you wanted to be. You know, we think about the past a lot when it comes to our childhood, you know, our teenage years, our adulthood, our elder years. And sometimes we hold ourselves to certain expectations from our own past. And as much as it's good to be able to like, all right, these are things that I did want to do. Let me try to do them. You are not that same person anymore. So don't allow someone who you are no longer allowed to dictate your person who you want to try to be. Because you already did that. And that's how you got to where you're at. Now we need to take a step forward. Allowing ourselves to bring something more for our life. You know, bringing new things, new sayings, new phrases, new challenges, new routines for the better. And this book, just in general, just has allowed me to bring more grace, more peace, more power, more joy to my life. I am a very peaceful person. No matter the shit that I've been through, no matter the fuck ups that I've had, the places that I've seen, the things that I've had to experience, I'm going to always be peaceful, no matter what. Because it's the best point of power. Killing someone with peace is the best thing that we can do. Because you're speaking joy into somebody. You're killing the negativity that they have in them. You're not killing them. You're killing the person that they think they are. And that's the difference. When you bring peace to somebody, this allows you to put power back into them. And that's something that I want all the time. I want to be able to bring that power towards the people. People deserve peace. People deserve power. People deserve to be embraced and enlightened and celebrated. And that's something that I want to take myself on a day-to-day. You know, when it comes to the people that I meet all the time, I call all my peoples kings, queens, because I want to be able to speak power into you. I want you to see the power and the higher self that you got within yourself. And that's the person I'm talking to. Yeah, I could be talking to the person right in front of me, but I know that higher being is listening. I know that higher being is listening to me, listening to what I got to say, listening to the spirit that I'm speaking through. So I try to carry myself like that. Because number one, people deserve that beautiful energy. And this is a beautiful energy that I will want for myself. I don't need anybody to bring me this type of energy. I know the energy that I could bring towards myself. And that's more important to me than anything. Because that's the person who I am responsible for. Everybody else's responsibilities is entirely up to them. If they want to be peaceful, if they want to take life the way that I take life, that's entirely up to them. If they want to start calling people kings and queens, that's entirely up to them. But I know at the end of the day, I'm going to make sure that I'm still putting that type of energy out for the people. And make sure that we're embracing the power that we have within ourselves. These 3 books have been the stepping stone of who I am today. A lot of the past has, yeah, most definitely. But seeing who you are through words that you can read on a book gives you a different perspective on things, different reflection. Because I'm also a person, I write down like the way I feel. I write down my life. I write down my actions, so I can be able to reflect and refract from them. But something like this, when you feel like you're being heard when no one is listening to you, is a crazy way to feel, especially when reading something that you've never expected to run into. And it allows me as well to see, maybe I'm not the only one dealing with these types of things. Maybe there is a bigger community out there that may relate to the things that I've gone through, or relate to some of the experiences or the ways that I feel. And these 3 books have helped me get a better glimpse on life. If you guys know about power, this is actually a book that I have not read, just because I know how impactful this book is. And this is something that I actually said to one of my friends a couple weeks ago. This book is going to change the way that I think about life, the way that I take a lot of things. And I don't think this is something that I want to get into yet. These books have changed my life. And right now I'm at a point where I need to try to experience, I need to try to enjoy, I need to try, and I need to fail a little bit. Before I look at the blueprint on who I want to try to be, let me throw myself in the fire a little bit. Let me allow myself to get a little bit messed up and get that experience and see, you know what? All right. I'm ready for some change, because I'm changing all the time. On my week to week, all the time I'm changing, experiencing new things, challenging myself for the better, putting myself in positions that I would never expect to be in, and having uncomfortable conversations. But I know this book right here is going to be a rewrite. And this is something that I want to pace myself with, especially for somebody that I try to be goofy. I try to be free. I try to be creative. I try to, well, not even I try. I am. I am goofy. I am creative. I am funny. I just be chilling. So I don't want to take a lot of me out of me because of a book. And because I know how this book is, I have actually held myself back from reading the book because of the way that I know that I take my life. And if I am going to be reading certain books like this, I'm going to make sure it's for a purpose. So this one is going to be one of the next reads. It is going to be on a later time, but that one's going to be the final. And all these books, believe it or not, lead up to what this big book is going to be about. And that's a big reason that I actually haven't read this one as well. This is overwhelming as fuck. Overwhelming. And I got this is the annotated one. So there's a lot of information there. And I want to be able to take all that information in the best power that I can and use it for the better. I've heard this book has been about a lot of manipulation, and that's the last thing I want to do. So that's a big reason as well. I really don't want to read it because then it would just be something. It'll be information that I know. It'll be knowledge that I have gained, and it's not something that I want to use. But I would be informed on a certain subject, and don't allow me to be informed on a certain subject because I'm gonna make sure that you are also well informed, and you won't even know. This is the first episode of the podcast. Understanding the experience of Goop's little journey, turning the first page, understanding the first chapter, and taking a look at the first book. This is to be able to show you guys, number one, you could do this too. You could do this too. Anybody could do this. Anybody can want better for themselves. You just gotta want it. I'll be honest. You gotta want it. Like I said earlier, there are times where I ain't know how I was getting to where I was gonna sleep at. I ain't know where I was gonna sleep at. I ain't know what I was gonna eat. I ain't know what I was gonna wear. Now, I can literally run around here. Run around my crib. I could sleep right there. Or I could sleep right there. Or I could sleep right there. Or I could sleep right there. I could eat right there. I could eat right there. I could eat right here. I could drink right there. I didn't expect any of this. I didn't think I was going to get hit. It wasn't handed to me. But we here now. And we only striving for the better. So come on. What's stopping you? It's not me. I'm here to give you advice. I'm here to give you knowledge. I'm here to talk to you a little bit. Be a friend. I'm not stopping you. You stopping you. You can't say it's the people around you stopping you. You stopping you. You know, Babyface E said this in one of his songs. He said, "Don't blame nobody for being broke. Blame it on yourself." I blame myself for being broke. So I'm telling that to you. Everybody here, remember, I'm here to bring peace. I'm here to tell you about the journey. But I'm also going to make sure that we get some discipline. We build some structure. We do things for the better. Because as much peace as I bring, I love peace. I love peace. I can always match that. Sometimes that's how we have to be. I don't like being like that. But sometimes that's how we gotta be. And that's the balance of the life. That's the way that I take myself as well. You know, you may see these tattoos right here. See these tattoos right here. That was the year I was born. Some people may think it's stupid. Some people are like, oh my God, yeah, you stupid. They are pretty big. For me, this is for reflection and a reflection for the better. I was born on the 20th. I was born in the year 02. It says 2002, which is 2002, which is the year I was born. 20 is also a reflection of 02. 02 is also a reflection of the 20. This allows me to, number one, have reflection in my life, carry a reflection on my arms, and allow me to bring balance to my soul. Tattoos can mean anything to anybody. It's a big reason I got them, though. I also have the sun and the moon on my legs. I got the sun on the left, I got the moon on the right. Balance, peace, power, understanding the light and the darkness. That all these things play a part for you. And that's what we're here for. I also have an infinity cross on my chest, allowing me to embody the beautiful cycle of balance, of reflection, of the yin and yang, and allow me to embrace a beautiful future for myself. There are a lot more tattoos that I'm going to be getting. A lot of them are going to be meaningful because that's the way that I try to carry myself. Everything over here has meaning. All my art has meaning. Anything, all of it has meaning because I want to mean something. And I already know that I mean something. And I want to be able to show that to people that you do mean something. Because I know how it be to not mean anything to anyone. And not even mean anything to yourself. And I want to be able to show the people, the community, that there's a lot more to life. There's a lot more to this journey. There's a lot more to this thing that we live on. And I want to be able to show that to people. So this one is going to be a long video. But I just want to say thank you guys for kind of staying tuned. I know nobody probably watched this long, which is okay. But I'm here to tell people a story. Bring people on my journey. Embark a new destination. And allow you to be heard. I'm not doing this for famous people. I'm not doing this to get famous. I'm doing this for a community. I'm doing this for the people. I'm doing this for the souls that just want to be happy. Because we all deserve to be happy. And I want to bring this to the people. So if you guys did enjoy, please drop a like. Yo, subscribe, comment. I don't know how any of this works, but we're going to figure it out together, to be honest. You know, I'm working with you guys. You work with me. If y'all want certain things, certain content, want me to talk about certain things, I got you guys. But all of this is going to be understanding the experience. Any experience in life, even the experience of me putting this sticker on here, that's something that we're talking about. That is the journey that we're here for. We're here to talk real. As you see, I didn't look down at any paper. I didn't look down to do over here. Only thing I was looking at was the book to show you guys that we're doing this for the better. We're doing this for you. We're doing this for me. I'm doing this for the dude that I'm looking at in the camera right now. I'm doing this for you, son. Because I know you're doing it for me. And I know you're doing it for you. And the person that's doing it for you is you. Because I know I'm doing it for me. But we can still do it for us. Because it's only for the better. This one is something that I'm going to work on. My videos are definitely going to get a lot better after this. Allowing me to trial and error. Like I said, I came here to try. I'm trying something different. It's my first time doing this. And you know what? I had a good time and I'm very grateful for it. And this is only going to be the beginning to a lot more. We have a lot better production coming up. We have a lot more resources coming up. We have a lot more people that we are going to be engaging with. This is going to be the first of many, and I wanted to be able to drop this episode on my own to give you guys the first chapter, the first page, the first glance at the first book of understanding the experience. So thank you guys so much for joining. It's been an absolute blessing. I appreciate you guys for even tuning in. Honestly, I'm very grateful. If I could see you in front of me and you like, yo, bro, I fuck with your shit, I'll give you big dap. Just for showing love, yo. Because it's about showing love. Kill them with kindness. Best thing we gonna say. But peace out. Peace. Power. Y'all take care. You have a blessed night. Thank you for joining.